Mad Mike Hughes. I'm sure some of you have heard of the guy. He's the flat Earth dude that was going to launch himself into space so that he could prove that the world was flat, and he's a really quirky guy. He was on Tosh.0. He was on the news. I mean, everyone was talking about this guy about a year ago. Well, they did a documentary called ROCKETMAN, and Mike actually launched himself in a rocket. And the documentary is actually really good. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, no way that could this documentary be good. It's good for many reasons. Let me tell you why. And when you get a chance, go watch this. It is really, I can't even give it enough praise. It's really good. All right, let's get going. So the documentary starts off and it gives us a little bit of peek into Mike and his life. Turns out he lives with his cats and he loves them very much. And he wants to launch himself into space with a little, you know, like memorial thing that he has of his favorite cat that passed away. And it shows you that he might be a little bit crazy, but as it gets going, it shows you that he's actually a really good dude. And he does believe what he says. This guy fully believes that the Earth is flat, and he believes he's going to launch a rocket up into space, and he's going to prove it to people. Now, Waldo, that guy right there, is a rocket scientist. You think I'm joking, don't you? Waldo is a genius. He knows what he's doing. This guy can go, that guy right there, Waldo, he can go to a junkyard and find some parts and slap them together and put together a rocket that a person can launch themselves in, whether they live or not, you know? But I like Waldo. Waldo's one of my favorite parts of the entire thing. Then they introduce one of his other friends too, and I'll show you them in just a second. But the dynamic between the three of them and how they believe that they can do this, they know they're going to do this. They won't accept no for an answer. That's what makes this movie so gripping. That's what really starts to pull you in. You start to see the rocket materialize and the way they talk and hang out with each other. It starts to, you start to get invested. The documentary creators did a very great job, and you get invested with it and you start wondering to yourself, are they really going to do it? Can they really launch this guy into space with just a little bit of water? And well, the answer's kind of shocking.
I keep this with me all the time. This is ideas and concepts. And I told him, I said, you know, right here, this is it right here. See, it started with napkin drawings, and this is the first rocket. I said, you know, you're going to be tucked down inside here. You need to be tucked down.
As the movie gets going, it gets really tense seeing how they do this, how they test this, how Waldo can just sketch this thing out and then put it together, and the quirky way that they act between each other. You know, all of that goes together to where you're scared for Mike when he gets into this thing. Now, one of his buddies is a believer in God and basically says he doesn't believe in the flat Earth, but he's a really cool guy. And the way he talks to people, it's really awesome. He says, peace in. He says, peace out was the way we used to do it. It's peace in now. You got to keep the peace within yourself. It's just really cool. You know, it seems dorky at first, and you're probably sitting there like, UNIRock, this sounds like the dorkiest show ever. The dorkiest guy ever. No, seriously, though. You'll really start to feel, you know, a little inspired by the way the guy has just faith that this is all going to come together. They were riding in the car.
All I know has been people from about 6 to 10 different countries come out here.
Yeah, well, you know, we'll see.
But, you know, something else you need to be concerned about is with my safety, Pat. And then my safety, someone may come in with a fucking gun to shoot me.
Well, hey, wait a second, Mike. Wait. I just want to be clear, okay? And I understand what you're saying. And believe you me, okay, throughout this entire process, your safety has been my major
Riding in
concern.
the car. And Mike said something to the effect of, we don't know if this is going to happen. And his buddy's like, oh, it's going to happen. It's happening. There is no in this. And it's very inspirational. I'm not kidding. I swear, man. Then there's another part where Mike is really scared because he's been getting a lot of crazy people messing with him and sending him, like, you know, threats and stuff. And he's talking to his buddy like, look, I don't want the public here because, you know, these people are crazy. And his buddy looks at him and he says, they're going to have to get through me first. And it's like, you say to yourself, these guys are pretty crazy, but by the middle of the movie, instead of me looking at them like they're just nut jobs trying to do something crazy, I'm starting to get behind these guys. I'm starting to be like, you know what? Yeah, they're going to have to get through you to get to Mike. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so they've had their ups and downs. They try to launch the rocket the first time, and it doesn't work. They have to leave it sit for a month to depressurize the actual engine so that it doesn't explode and kill somebody. And my God, does Waldo scare the hell out of you. He goes up, and he forgets to prime the chute. He forgets to prime the parachute. So Mike would just smash into the ground and die. He would just go splat. But he forgets to prime the parachute. So he runs up to this rocket at the last minute. He doesn't even know if it's about to blow. And he yanks that sucker and he primes the chute and he gets out of there. And you're like, oh my God, Waldo. You can feel the tension when it happens. But then anyway, as it gets closer to the launch, you know, Mike gets up there. Waldo's talking him into it. Waldo's saying, you know, here you go, get ready. There are other buddies there. Everything is led to this moment, and you're saying to yourself, it's not going to happen. It's just going to fail. There is no freaking way, dude. There is no way he's going to pull that, you know, lever and launch himself into the sky in this rickety thing that him and Waldo and his buddy built out of a freaking scrapyard. And I'll be damned. There goes Waldo. Here, let me play this part for you.
Waldo, you didn't acknowledge. Get out of there.
Oh, imagine that that damn thing just exploded there. It says here, Waldo forgot to prime the parachute. He takes a deep breath, man. He buckles down, and there he goes, baby. There he goes. Straight up. Look at this. Tell me this isn't insane. Tell me this isn't. He goes out almost. You can tell he's still there. He's like, whoa, what's up? What's going on? What's going on here? You know, the sheer force made him almost lose consciousness. Now, here's where it gets crazy, dude. So Waldo described the whole process about how you go up and you're going to feel yourself start to tip down. That's when you pull the chute. Now, Mike is a psycho. He is a psycho. And Waldo has this prep primed with 2 chutes. And Mike needs to fire the other chute. And he doesn't because he's hardcore. So finally, Waldo tells the guy with the radio, tell him to pull the other chute. Because look how fast it doesn't seem like he's going down that fast. But yeah, he's going down pretty damn fast, dude. Anyway, he fires the chute, and he lands it. And I'll be damned if this crazy son of a bitch, who everybody talked down, man. Everybody talked down to Mike. Everybody looked at him like he was nuts. There were people on YouTube criticizing the guy in such a shitty way. You know, I have to even admit, when I first heard about this, I called him crazy. But watch as he hits. Oh, my God, dude. Did you see him hit, dude? Woo, he hit at least at 60, 70 miles an hour. That is one hardcore dude right there. That is one hardcore dude. Anyway, as he comes out, they lay him on the ground. They take him to the hospital, of course, and check him out. He talks about how, I think he said his balls were bruised for a month or something like that. You know, crazy Mike, dude. By the end of this, though, you're really rooting for this guy. And as he's launching in the air, you keep hearing what he was saying, him and his friends. You keep hearing what they were saying, like, this is going to happen. We are going to do this. Nothing's going to stop us. And you say to yourself, you know what? It didn't matter. It didn't matter if he was a flat earther. It didn't matter if he was doing this for some crazy reason. These guys did this. They drew this thing on a piece of paper. They dreamed it. They put it together. They made it happen. And in the end, I'll be damned if he didn't do it. And that, my friends, is what changes Mad Mike from some crazy flat earth believing nut job into a real fucking awesome dude, man. I'm not kidding. I look at Mad Mike after watching him do this, and I say to myself, you know what? If only all of us could be that brave. If only all of us could chase our dreams that hard. If only all of us could never take no for an answer like Mad Mike. And, you know, I think that's what's great about this documentary. It just shows us that no matter what crazy things we think about the world or each other or whatever, and as long as, you know, something like that doesn't take away from a person. And anyway, I'm gonna stop. Look, Mike brings out that kind of inspiration in me. He really does.
Mission accomplished. A self-taught rocket scientist successfully launched himself into the California sky.
The Associated Press reports 61-year-old Mike Hughes propelled himself nearly 1,900 feet into the air in the Mojave Desert before landing.